Hi, I'm Matt.
Hey there, I'm Bianca.
And in this video, we're going to talk about the two types of swingers, the stallion and the bunny.
That's right, so keep watching.
So this is an interesting one. We've been talking about this for probably quite a few years, whether it's in regular conversations or online or in our videos, whatever it might be, of the different types of swingers. And we were trying to just kind of come up with some way to put them in a category.
Right.
Okay. And we
Humans love to put things in boxes.
They do. That's right. And so we're trying to put people in boxes. That's right. People love labels, but just as kind of an easier way to describe just the speed and the way that some people swing. And and of course there is a spectrum, but we figured kind of using animals, one end of the spectrum and the other. Okay, so two rabbits meet in the woods somewhere, and they go, "Oh, you've got the right parts. Let's do this." All right, and that is rabbits in general. Rabbits just fuck. All right, rabbits don't even need to know each other's names. Like they're just like, you have the right parts, I have the right parts. You have tab A, I have slot B. Let's just put them together and
Some fun.
and have some fun. Now, of course, that's extreme. Okay. On the other end of that is a horse. Stallions sound cooler than horse, but a horse when they are mating, they actually have a little dance that they do. They actually need to almost be wooed by the opposing horse or horses, whatever it might be, to really connect and decide to go run off and make little mares, or I don't know what. I don't think it's a mare.
Ponies.
Ponies. That's that's what a horse person I am here. A pony. So and that's the other extreme to that. Like that they need to be really wooed over time to get there. Okay. So imagine that you're on two sides of that. All right. In the swinging world, you've got the couple the person, because it's not necessarily a couple. Right. They could be different. The person is like, oh my gosh, that I look at a woman and I go, oh my God, she's attractive. I want to have sex with her. Like, and she says she does it to me, whatever, okay, well, that's one direction that we can go. You might look at something and be like, okay, you're looking at someone and you're like, yeah, he's attractive. You can see if someone's physically attractive, but you need to have a conversation and you need to have a potentially lengthy conversation to get to the point of being comfortable enough to go and play with that person. That's kind of the thinking process in what I was thinking. What do you think about all this?
I mean, you know how I love to put things in boxes and label things.
I like to put things in your box.
I've heard other people do too.
Yeah.
I think that it could be helpful for people to understand each other and friends. So one of the things I hear so often is that there's only one way to swing. Mm-hmm. You have to be a rabbit. Everybody's got to be a rabbit. You just got to fuck whoever and whenever. And if you got the right parts, you just do it.
And that's what vanilla people think about lifestyle people.
That's true. Uh-huh. I felt for a very, very long time that I should just get my swinger card revoked, because I just was not that. I mean, I tried that in the beginning, but it just never felt natural to me. It never felt comfortable to me, and I didn't love it. Once I realized that was not who I truly was and I needed more, I was able to embrace that. And I did think that I should have my swinger card taken away because I'm not doing it right. Because the only way to be a swinger is to be a rabbit, to be someone who just goes and fucks. And the more we got into the lifestyle, the more comfortable we got in the lifestyle, and the more people we talked to, the more I realized I wasn't the only person out there that needed more than just sup, let's go. And so I've started to embrace that and to be okay with that. And I think that having this idea is helpful to couples to figure out what their journey is and the play style that they prefer. I do think that there can be uneven couples. I feel like for a long time you were a rabbit when I was still a horse, and so that made it frustrating for us. In fact, I'm pretty sure that's why we started playing separately.
Probably because it would be to the point of we were just not necessarily on the same page. This was quite a while ago, where it was just I could meet a woman and I'm attracted to this woman, and I could tell from our conversations or whatever that she was very attracted to me. And it could be 10 minutes and of just, of connecting that way. And we would just be like, yeah, like, you want to do this? And she'd be like, yes, absolutely. And we would go have fun. But you were like, oh, that's so not me. And although we did do that a few times, I mean, there were definitely, especially in our earlier days in the lifestyle, where we're just like, we don't know how this works. We don't, I assume it's just all about the sex. It's not about anything else. So you're attracted to him. He's clearly attracted to you. So you would just go and have sex and have a great time. But you felt that that wasn't quite you. And when we first got in the lifestyle, actually originally when we first started making these videos, the reason we did back in 2012 when we started this is at the time there was nothing on the internet. Nobody was out on YouTube doing anything about swinging at all. Everything that you could find was on blogs and things that were generally outdated mindset of this concept of when you go to a party, don't talk about anything other than sex. Don't talk about your kids. Don't talk about your family. And all you talk is sexy. And we actually were on a cruise not long ago, and the people that were teaching a 101 class were saying something very similar too. Keep everything sexy. Everything should always be sexy. And we disagree with that.
Well, what's funny too is I know who you're talking about, and I'm pretty sure they're both rabbits.
Yeah. Oh,
And
absolutely.
so maybe that I've just had kind of an aha moment of maybe
Mhm.
that's the difference is rabbits may not care about all of that other stuff,
Mhm.
but you get the horses out there and they do care about that stuff. So I think it just depends on your style
Mhm.
as to
Mhm.
there's nothing wrong with keeping it sexy and just not talking about what you do for a living and what you do for fun outside and what do you do other than swinging and that kind of stuff, getting to know somebody. If that's your play style, there's nothing wrong with that. Like,
Mhm.
kudos to you that you can just go out and do that. That's great. Sometimes I wish I could be more like that. And I wish that I could just kind of let go and let loose and just go do the things. But it comes down to that's just not me and that's not my style. And I don't want to change who I am.
Yeah, and you shouldn't have to change who you are because that's really what makes you in the lifestyle, and it makes you enjoy yourself to the fullest amount that you can enjoy yourself in the
Right.
lifestyle. So, when we first were hearing this and we were first learning about the lifestyle via outdated information, everything said don't ever talk about anything that wasn't sexy. And so we went to our very first party and we were deer in headlights in the sense that we had nothing to talk about. We're this middle-aged couple that, we had young kids at home. All we had was our job and our family to talk about because that it was our life at that time. And I know a lot of people
And
that
it's
are
brand new in the lives that we didn't have experiences to talk about.
exactly. And I know that a lot of people watching are also brand new in life, so are just dipping their toes in or talking about it. And they're like, well, what do we talk about at an event? And it is okay to talk about those things. It is okay if that is your comfort style to talk about yourself. To me, I mean, you don't want to be talking about things that are particularly unsexy. Oh, to the doctor because I had some horrible bowel movement, or and that's probably not a conversation. That's probably not a conversation. But connecting in a way that you meet a husband and wife, and the wife has this amazing dress, and you start talking about her dress, and you start talking about where you shop for yours, and then you bought this thing on Amazon, you did da 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 da, and you connect with them in a way that makes you feel more comfortable with them and them feel more comfortable with you, that generally the sexiness will follow in the fact that you feel comfortable enough with them that you're like, okay, I would be comfortable enough with that gentleman going into the back and moving things forward. And then you do all the other things that we talk about in other videos about how to move things forward. But just in the sense that it's okay to want more if that is who you are. We have many, many friends who are, if not rabbits, they're close on that end of the spectrum. Again, it's a big spectrum. That I was just using an example of, I don't even know your name. That would be the
Which
extreme
has
level.
met people like that don't want to know the name. They just want to.
Yeah. Or we'll see that's oftentimes in playrooms. Playrooms are you're definitely going to see a lot of rabbits in the sense of they see a couple on a bed and they had 2-sentence conversation or no sentence conversation outside, and they're like, "Hey, do you mind if we join you?"
Do you remember that actually happened to us once?
Mhm.
That we were standing outside a playroom, looking in, just kind of watching what was going on. Maybe we were looking for a space, and a couple came up to us at the door, and we're like, "Hey, do you guys want to just the four of us go play together?" And we were like, Okay.
I remember that. It was a really good time too. She was cute. I remember that was quite a while ago, but yeah, I do remember that. And I mean, we've definitely been in situations where we've been in playrooms and big events and that type of thing where you see that I'm attracted to you, you're attracted to me, or I'm just throwing that out there of like, hey, can we do, you're in a group situation, can we join you, or whatever it might be. And sometimes that's okay with people, sometimes it's
Right.
not. And we did a whole video on, is it okay to ask someone to play while they're in the middle of the playroom, because that is a whole conversation in itself. But that is a play style, is this concept of, I don't want to know your name, so I don't want to know anything about you, I don't want to have a conversation, you have the right parts, and let's do this. But there are many levels that go all the way to the stallion on that end of things. So, we have a lot of friends, and I would say they're probably a notch or two off of an extreme bunny rabbit, in the sense that they are like, oh no, I want to make connections. I mean, I want to talk to us as a couple want to talk to this other couple for 10 minutes or 20 minutes or whatever it might be, just to make sure that they're cool people, to find out what their play style is,
Flowing.
to get the juices flowing, doing the flirting, all of that kind of stuff. But that's all it takes. They're like, okay, yeah, we're connected, we're attracted to you, you clearly look like you're attracted to me, let's move things in the back. And there are a lot of people like that, and that's awesome that is how they work their lifestyle. And that's great, they do that and they love it. And I always want to make clear that all the things that we talk about as far as our play style is not the right play style, it is just our play style. And also that my play style is different than your play style, and that's also okay, in the sense that you're always working at the speed of the slowest person, and that you are very much in the communication with your significant other to make sure that they are on the same page as you, because it's very, very common where couples are not on the same page, or they're not at the same speed. One's more of a bunny rabbit than a stallion, and meeting in that middle ground, or also compromising, is also okay, of just kind of like, I need this, so let's do it this time maybe, and next time we'll do it a different way. Or I might be an absolute bunny rabbit, and I'm like, I don't really want to know much about her, but you want to know a bit about him to feel comfortable. Well, it's okay for me to kind of take it down a notch and be like, okay, let's talk to him for a little while, and if we feel comfortable, then we'll move things forward. I think it would be much more difficult if you were only someone who was like, I need to know someone, I need to talk to them half a dozen times, I need to have met them at the club half a dozen times, go on a couple dates, all that kind of stuff, before I'll feel comfortable going in the bed. That would be the extreme side of the stallion side, where it's just like, I need to be friends first. I need to feel absolutely comfortable with them, because maybe I'm just that type of person, maybe I had some trauma in the past, maybe I had a bad experience in the lifestyle, and I don't want that to happen again. Because realistically, most couples, if not all couples that have been doing it any amount of time, will tell you that they've had negative experiences. That's part of growth, that's part of communication, that's part of not being on the same page as each other, and also not being on the same page as the other couple.
It can also be part of, you took a step in a direction you thought was going to be something that you were okay with, and it ended up being something that you were like, you know what, that's not something that makes me comfortable. So I think the lifestyle, the nice thing about it, one of the great things about it, is you're constantly exploring new things. For example, we are currently in a quad. This is something that I said I would never, ever do. And so we are exploring things, and I'm loving it. Like, I'm so happy that I was open-minded enough to give this a try, because we're really having a great time. But I think that that's important too, at least for me, is to have an open mind. And no, I am not probably ever going to be the extreme bunny rabbit, but never say never. There could be a situation. I mean,
I could think of a situation at the club.
yes, me too. The same one?
Maybe.
Channing Tatum?
Channing Tatum. That's right, Channing Tatum. So you tell the Channing Tatum.
Story.
It's your story. Tell the Channing Tatum.
No, so we were at the club, and we were playing separately at the time, and you were occupied with someone, and I was talking to a few guys, and one guy walked up to me, and he looked like Channing Tatum.
And you were attracted.
Sean Channing.
You were attracted to Channing Tatum.
Very much.
Yeah.
And then we barely had much of a conversation, but then he was like, hey, you want to go in the back? And I was like, okay. And it was not a good experience for me. And I don't regret it.
Makes for a funny story
It makes
now.
for a funny
Sure.
story. It was not, I'm pretty sure he might have been like cheating on his girlfriend or
Oh,
something. Like,
really?
I don't even know. Like, it was very weird. I'm
Gotcha.
not sure. Like, or like she didn't know he was there, or, it was very much that whole, I'm going to go check it out and let her know how it is kind of
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. Not my place. I don't know. But it was, like, just like he was a bunny rabbit because it was just like, boom, 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 done.
Oh,
Uh,
well, oh, yeah. We're not even talking about
like,
the,
the sex was
the
not
sex
good.
itself.
But like for me, it was not an enjoyable experience at all, and I left with my head just like, what the hell happened here? Like it was just not 100% not enjoyable. And that's not the reason I decided not to do this again, but that is the reason I decided not to play certain styles, certain ways.
But you, like you said, never say never.
Right.
And I mean, we've often talked
I
about,
haven't met Ryan Reynolds yet.
or the,
so
the Ryan Reynolds
So
lookalike.
if there's a Ryan Reynolds out there, maybe I'll do that again.
Maybe, okay, all right. So if you happen to be at the club and you see her and you happen to look like Ryan Reynolds,
Yeah, okay.
then you don't have to do much talking. Just go right up to her and be like, hey, you want to do this? And then she's gonna move her flag over to the rabbit side a little bit.
Faster,
Yeah.
There have definitely been people that I would that I've seen or met briefly. There was someone else that looked like another actor that I thought was cute. And like we had.
Wait, which actor was this?
I don't know his name.
Oh, okay.
He was from the Umbrella Academy. He played the
big dude,
big guy from the Umbrella Academy.
I don't know his name,
but he was really, really cute.
I do remember this. I do. Yeah.
And he was super shy and I was super shy. So if he had said something, he did say something, but I had to anyways, we were both super shy and it couldn't happen the night that he asked, and it just never, and then I haven't seen him. So if I were to see him again, I would probably say absolutely yes, even though we don't really know each other. So, I'm not saying it could never happen. I'm saying my preference is,
if he's hot and he looks like a celebrity, then maybe. Then
it's not just that. If you can get a vibe off of someone too, right? Like, okay, no. Channing Tatum, that whole night was, I don't even know how to explain myself that night because there was no vibe. There was no nothing. I think I was just in my feels of Matt's with someone and I want to be with someone.
Sure.
So I went and did
Sure.
that. I think that that's more of what that was, is it wasn't like an envy. I'm envious that Matt went back there to play. There's nobody else here that I'm interested in. This guy's sitting right in front of me. Okay, I'm going to do that. So I think that that's what that was.
Okay.
So there are a lot of factors that can come into what could change your mind. That was also so many years ago. That was a long time ago, and I am a very different person now than I was then. So I don't know for sure if that would happen. But it would take a very special situation in which for me to go
to be a bunny.
Yes.
To be a bunny. Okay. All right. Yeah. No, that's perfectly reasonable. And the fact that you are open to the concept that it can change and that it can be situational. I mean, we've often talked about the fact that you do need to get to know someone, but in the right circumstance, that's how much you need to connect with someone is a giant range. You might need to know somebody for weeks or months. You might need to know somebody for 20 minutes or 3 hours. Oh, that was a look. Okay. So okay. Well, there's someone with 3 hours that she connected with. I don't know who she's talking about right now.
They're going to listen. They'll know.
Okay. So yeah. So there's not a specific level of bunny or stallion that you are, and that can change. And I would tend to say that most people are going to be the same way. There is definitely a level that is going to depend on the connection that they have with the other people. And of course, the speed that the other people are at as well.
I think too, as you and I have been in the lifestyle, and our journey has developed and we've been doing this for so long, we've realized that one of the things that we truly love about this is making lifelong friends. And so for us, play is connecting on a different level of a vanilla friend, right? So we want to have really good friendships in the lifestyle, and it's great to have friends with benefits. And so we are going to want to focus more on a relationship with someone, because then we have more than just the sex. Because for us, this is more than just the sex. It started off certainly as just the sex, but it became more than the sex. And so I think that that's just the way that our journey has gone and what makes us happy. I mean, we know people who only play when they're on vacation out of their hometown, and they don't really care about, they're not trying to make lifelong friends necessarily because people that they're playing with don't live near them.
Yeah.
So yeah, nothing wrong with any play style. Like I could say my play style is wrong. I mean, everybody
It's not
just
wrong.
play, just have fun. Your play style is the right play style because it's the right play style for you. As long as you are true to yourself and what works for you,
Sure.
nobody else.
All right, so this is what I want everybody to do. So I want you to go down in the comments below and let us know, are you a stallion or a bunny? And why? Or does it change? Or how do you feel about this? Are we totally off base?
Or do you think there's a different animal? What's the one in the middle?
What's the one in the middle? That would be a very weird looking animal, I
Oh,
think.
gosh.
Anyway, so make sure you go to clubsapphire.com, check out all the amazing events that are happening. And of course, if you don't know yet, these videos now are also on a podcast form, so you can listen wherever you pick up your favorite podcast. Just type in Club Sapphire or Matt and Bianca, and you'll be able to find out all about us and all the things that we're doing. And we're going to slowly improve our podcast so that all the hundreds and hundreds of videos that we've done over the last 15 years are eventually in audio podcast form as well.
Over and over and over while you drive and work out.
Yes. All right. Anything else you want to say, Bianca?
No, I think that's it.
All right. Perfect. Well, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.